I greet you once again, godchild. You near the final stage of your destiny. All will become most complicated very soon.
No more complicated than it's ever been.
We shall see. You have fought against brother and sister in recent days. Fought and prevailed as they arrayed their forces against you. You have done well. The most powerful children of Bhaal gathered themselves together years ago. You know them as the Five. Together, they hoped their power would destroy all others of their kind. But what you do not know is why. What purpose your siblings have for their actions. You may suspect, but hear the truth from the lips of one you have murdered.
Why am I cold? Why is Yagashura disturbed?
You shall explain the truth of your actions, Spirit, to the one that killed you.
If I was killed by that one, then I don't owe nobody nothing.
You shall answer our questions of the Five.
The Five, Yagashura owes them all right. Sure, I'll speak. I was approached when I was still at the temple, still being taught the powers of Bhaal by the old witch. The greatest of all the Bhaalspawn were joining forces, I was told. We will defeat all others before us. Yagashura didn't trust the others. Figured sooner or later the Bhaalspawn would turn on each other. Figured I was stronger than the rest of them maybe, but not all of them together. So I joined, raised an army of men and slaughtered all the Bhaalspawn we could, waiting for enough of the essence to collect in the abyss.
For Bhaal, the dead god, and your father to be resurrected as he had planned before his death.
And we would be his right hands, all five of us. That's what we were promised. We would live as demigods, ruling Faerûn with our power. It was worth taking a chance for, Yagashura thinks.
So the Five sought to resurrect your father and become demigods. What does this mean to you, godchild?
Very little. Isn't that what all these Bhaalspawn want? It's over now, anyway.
You are a fool to think the Five are defeated now. Of all of Bhaal's children, who do you think possessed the most of his essence? You, certainly, but we five as well. How many of the Five have you killed? Myself? Elisera? Probably Abazigal. And Sendai too. That is a lot of Bhaal's essence. And still one Bhaalspawn remaining.
Balthazar?
Yes, Balthazar. If anything, fool, you have stirred Bhaal in his slumber. He is closer now to awakening than ever before.
The last of the Five yet remains, godchild, and your father stirs. What will you do?
I'll just have to stop Balthazar, and Bhaal too if it comes to that.
Then continue on your path, godchild. I shall see you soon enough.
Okay, so it was a very interesting choice to have that cutscene with Balthazar and Melisande. And obviously that's supposed to be like the turning point in the game, like, oh no, she's a Bhaalspawn and whatnot. But like, the fact that none of the dialogue was actually voiced kind of made it a bit lackluster. And I think in general, that's the issue with this game. In the sense that good storytelling, it shows, it doesn't tell, right? And yet, we're getting so much exposition thrown at us, and some of it's necessary, sure. But I just think if they had have had a fully fleshed out game, maybe it would have been a bit different. They would have had a bit more wiggle room, maybe? I don't know. Anyways. Just going to take all my health pots and use this convenient portal that has just opened up.
If you say so.
Just want to make sure I get her armor and jank, because that will be the bee's knees, I'm sure.
I can carry no more. What was given is now upon the ground.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Oh wow, is that not terribly...
Greetings, old friend. Fancy meeting you here.
Elminster?
Oh, so you do know who I am now. I must admit you've changed more than a little since the last time we met, before you were straddling the world with your power, so to speak.
Straddling the world? It hardly feels that way.
No need to be bashful. There's only a handful of folks who'd be willing to take you on at this point. Not even I would dare. And I've had considerable time to practice. Have you any idea of the havoc the Bhaal spawn have caused up and down the coast? The havoc you've caused personally? No, I don't suppose you have. Not that it's entirely your fault. We Harpers have been working tirelessly for weeks now to prevent the panic from reaching a boiling point. Not a simple task. As I understand it, though, your quest is nearly at an end, correct?
I think so.
I have to leave again soon, so I can't help you much. But I can help you a little, whether you like it or not. It's important that this all ends soon. But that doesn't mean I won't lift a finger over it.
So how can you help me then? Balthazar is known to me. His monastery is sealed up tight with powerful magic. Where he gets it from, I don't know, but you're going to have to get inside, obviously, or he'll ambush you eventually. I know it may not be pleasant to contemplate, but the rogue Saemon Havarian holds the key to entering the monastery. He is once again with the Catherine smugglers at the moment. As I understand it, Havarian has been into the monastery several times up until now. He may be able to help you once again if you're willing to look for his aid.
There may be another way in, but you'll have to find it on your own. Now, I must go. From this point on, attaining your destiny is completely your own affair. I wish you well.
See, and even that, having someone just sort of appear, and Elminster appeared in the first game, so there is that kind of connection. But to just have him appear at the right moment to tell me what I need to do in order to proceed. Yeah, you know.
Got it.
Oh, actually, let me go to my pocket plane.
Something you need? Just point me in the right direction.
You point.
Yep. Ooh, shiny ones. Okay.
Greetings, offspring of my old foe. It's time we spoke, you and I. But first, let's make sure we're not bothered by any of your so-called friends. This is a private matter. Now then, let's get trivial matters out of the way first. Do you know who I am?
You seem familiar somehow. Tisk, you'd think spore would have spread his seed out a little more intelligently. No matter. I am Cyric, or Cyric. I think it's Cyric, the reigning god of murder, not to mention of strife, lies, and illusion. Most recently, I've recovered from a little bout of madness. Not that that's important to you, only to find the seedlings of my former holder of my office everywhere, like weeds. There's only a bare few of the spawn left now, of course. Like you, I'm not convinced you'd have the temperament or desire for the office of murder, but one can never be too sure. You can imagine my concern, How do I know you're Cyric? You sure don't look like a god.
As opposed to what? Some grisly avatar like the Slayer? A cloud of smoke? A massive face in the sky with a booming voice? I am only here to talk, to gauge your threat to me, if any.
If I were a threat to you, why wouldn't you just kill me?
If only things were so easy as that. But if I get involved in the whole Bhaal spawn mess, then my own opponents amongst the gods would intervene. Mistra, or Kelemvor, perhaps. And it seems that Ao, the Overfather, has an interest in this as well. Which is very odd. He wishes this little climactic end for the Bhaal spawn to play itself out, without interference from the rest of us. And so I, the great Cyric, am restricted to watching and observing. And yet if there is anyone who should feel threatened by a child of the former Lord of Murder, it is me. There is just no justice anymore. I've been watching your progress for a while. Very impressive. I've formed a few conclusions, but let's hear it from the horse's mouth. How much should I fear you?
You needn't fear me. I have no designs on becoming the god of murder.
I see. I would have expected you to say as much. Who could have expected that this level of the abyss, this throne of Bhaal, would give me such problems? If only I could have destroyed it to begin with.
Why didn't you just take it over then, when you became Lord of Murder?
I didn't need it. I didn't want it. I have my own plane in Pandemonium, thank you very much. Much better than anywhere in the abyss. But obviously I should have paid more attention to this dismal place. But it's no matter. Can't undo what's already been done. And if you try, well, that leads to all sorts of different problems. And I'd rather not open that bag of worms once again. As for you, I doubt you will seek my realm of influence. If you even get that far, that is. I have little desire to see yet another godling who might be a possible opponent, if you even have any power worth noting. I think you need to be tested. That is what you created these little rooms for, isn't it? To test yourself? Mistra and Ao couldn't fault me for aiding you towards that end, now, could they? Perhaps we will meet again. For now, let us see how you do against my favored. I suggest you prepare yourself.
Do I get my friends back, or is it just me? Oh, nice. Okay.
Yep.
Everyone do a thing.
Yep. Something you need?
Okay, so at some point something's going to happen. I have to say, it is remarkable how difficult reading is when I'm not feeling fantastic.
Evil cannot be allowed to...
Righteousness shall prevail!
Jeez Louise. Okay, so I am hitting them.
That's not right.
That was it? Okay. Oh, right. I keep forgetting that I have these abilities. I'm a bit miserable at the combat.
Just point me in the right direction. Sure thing. Ooh.
Okay, why is my character moving at the speed of light? I guess that's the boots of speed, but I guess Minsk is stuck behind the Cobalt. She just seemed to be moving a lot faster. It has been a while, so just bear with me. Thankfully there's not a huge learning curve. Okay, so we're off to Catherine.
Yep,
I think is the name of the place.
if you say so.
You guys got this. Thank you.
Got it.
Okay, I have a feeling we're not actually welcome back in the city. Case in point.
Backhand of justice! I prefer the bright of day. Evil must be able to see the justice I dispense.
Oh, the cat just killed a rat. Oh, I love it. Okay, so I just don't want to stay out in the open too much because we'll get attacked. Saman is around here somewhere.
Aye. Speak your mind if you must.
Why, hello again, Chloe. I've been waiting for you. Saman Havarian. I must be cursed to keep running into you. Ah, yes. I suppose I could rehash our differences were I a mind to, but surrounded by my slaughtered comrades as I am, I'm hardly in the mood. I figured you'd be coming back to Catherine soon enough, and so I waited for you. I have a proposition, if you're interested. You've betrayed me constantly, even with those guards. Why should I trust you? I've done only what I've had to in the past. I may owe you for my unfortunate rudeness, perhaps, but overall, you and I are pretty even, Chloe. What? Even? You don't think I had much of a choice with all that business in Spellhold, did you? And for all my troubles, I bring you to the island. I ended up losing my best ship. And then there's the business of my poor men here. If it weren't for you and all those other boar spawn, my smuggling business here would have continued quietly as it was. As it is, I've lost nearly all my investment, and I'm not very happy about it. You're not laying all your misfortunes at my feet, are you? Did I say that? But you were involved, at least indirectly, whether you had any malicious intent or no. I certainly don't harbour any ill will towards you after all. We could argue about who's done what to whom all day, or maybe less, as I imagine my being chopped into bits might make your argument a little more effective than mine. Regardless, hear me out first. I blame Balthazar, if anything. He made my life nothing short of difficult, and now he's gone and curtailed me completely, and harmed some perfectly innocent people. He's got to pay for that. As I understand it, you've got to get inside the monastery, and I've got a couple of ideas which might enable you to do that. Interested? I'll listen to what you have to say. I promise nothing more than that. Now, I knew you were more reasonable than you seemed. All right, then. The best way I can think of to get inside the monastery is through disguise. My men, scavenged a few uniforms. It's enough for you and me to bluff our way past the gate guards. I'd need to go with you, naturally. I've done this before, and I know the proper codes to tell them. And what do you get out of this? I get to exact revenge on Balthazar. I'm a man with a reputation to uphold, after all. I can't allow slights like this to pass, you know. And besides, I suppose I owe you one. Okay, from memory, I think he actually betrays us, but it is the easiest way to get in, so... Fine, we'll do that. Double-cross me again, Seaman, and it'll be the last time. Got it? All right, then. Give me a few moments to prepare. Come and talk to me again once you're ready to go, all right?
Just give me a
Aye.
sec.
Speak your mind if you must.
Are you ready to go then? I've got the uniforms ready. Fine, let's go, but you'd better be on the level. What? What does that even mean? Would I steer you wrong, Chloe? Yeah, you're going to.